welcome back to Grace's Room. So it's that time of year again where some of you guys might be starting to go back to school after summer break, or you might be starting at a new school or even starting online school. And so today I wanted to give you guys a few tips that will hopefully help make that transition a lot easier and also will help you keep organized. I've got my little pointer here to help me out, but the first thing I want to talk about is starting a new school year. I'm sure some of you guys are about to do this at the moment, but the first thing I think is very important is that you're getting all of your school supplies organized. So make sure that you know that you've got everything you need. Don't leave to the very last minute. Get all the school supplies that you know you're going to need. The worst thing that's going to happen is during class you realize that you've forgotten something, so make sure getting all that organized. Something I personally like to do is to get different colored folders for all my different subjects, and this just makes it a lot easier, especially like during class. If I realize I've forgotten a book, I can just quickly go to my locker. I can see all the different colors and I'll know which one folder to pick out. The next thing is organize your school bag the night before school. Don't do it like in the morning because you might forget things as well. Like, it's just gonna be a lot easier. You won't have to rush. If you organize it the night before, you'll know everything that you need, and again, you're probably less likely to forget things. Print a timetable. This is just gonna be a lot easier for you, so you know all your subjects, you can kind of memorize them in a way. I like to print out 2 timetables, so I can put one above like my desk, and that way I can just kind of like see which subjects I have that day, and it can also help me to like determine whether I need to wear like my PE uniform, for example, or and I like to put one in my locker as well, so during before I go to my next class and I forgot which class it is, I can check all my classes. Get a good sleep. I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you're getting into a good routine, especially like a few nights before you go back to school. Make sure you're getting into the habit of going to sleep earlier and also getting up earlier. You'll just feel a lot more refreshed and you'll get into that routine. Healthy eating. So I think it's something that's very important is that you're eating your breakfast before school. You will not your brain won't function as well if you're not eating before school. You're just gonna feel all and stuff like that, and you're not gonna feel as energized. And especially make sure you're eating healthy food. If you have a lot of junk food and stuff like that before school, or you're not having a very healthy breakfast, you're just gonna feel really dull and not really as motivated. Whereas you eat something healthy, you'll probably feel a lot more energized. Get a planner. This is something I like to do, and it's helped me keep very organized with all my subjects. I like to keep a planner, and so that way I can write all my upcoming assignments and homework tasks that I have, and I can even put activities that I know I have coming up as well. If you don't have a planner, there's lots of apps I know you can get as well, or you can even just set reminders. It will just help you keep a lot more organized. Make new friends. So this year, I didn't really get into the same homeroom as any of my friends in my friend group, but that was actually a really good opportunity for me to branch out and make new friends. So do not stress about not being in the same class as all your friends. Think of it as a good thing. You might be able to make new friends. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone has their different strengths and everyone has their different weaknesses. Do not compare your scores or anything like that to other people. School is about learning and growth, personal growth. Just worry about how you can improve your scores and stuff like that. Don't worry about comparing it to other people, because like I said, everyone is different. Everyone's good at different things. Education comes first. I don't want to sound like a school principal or a parent when I say this, but it is true. Education does come first. If you know you've got an assignment and your friends are asking you to go to the shops, do the assignment. The shops are not going anywhere. If you get that assignment done, you'll have more time to hang out with your friends. School is only lasts for a little bit of time. You won't remember that assignment in a few years to come. School's just that little bit of time. So just get it done, and you've got all the time in the world afterwards to do whatever you want. Ask questions. This is something I'm personally learning how to do myself. I just get really nervous and stuff like that, and embarrassed to ask questions, but really I don't need to be. You guys don't need to be either. Half the class, I'm sure, probably has the same question as you, so just ask it. There's literally nothing bad that can happen from asking a question, and I know a lot of teachers say that, but really no question is dumb. And in the reverse kind of situation, don't be afraid to answer questions. If you know the answer to a question in class, just answer it. the worst thing that can happen is that you get the answer wrong, and that's not really a huge deal at all. Learn to speak up. If you personally are experiencing something, for example, like bullying, cyberbullying, something like that, or you see someone else being bullied or something like that, or you know something that you know is not right, speak up about it. The worst thing that you can do is bottle it up, keep it all to yourself, because you're just gonna overwhelm yourself and create a lot of anxiety, and that's just not needed. Just speak up about it. You will feel 10 times better if you say something. And lastly, avoid drama. Don't be getting in drama. Don't spread rumors about anyone. If something doesn't involve you, don't get involved in it. I personally, every time I know someone I know gets into drama, I don't get in it at all. It's just not worth it. And remember to treat others how you would like to be treated yourself. So, starting at a new school, whether you're starting middle school or high school, or you're moving to a new school from a different area, it can be really scary and daunting, but also really fun and exciting at the same time. So just make sure you're taking it one step at a time. Don't overthink everything. You're just going to stress yourself out and be really overwhelmed. So just relax, embrace the change, you will adjust. Get to know your school. If you have the opportunity to, like, whether it be like through orientation day or you get special permission to, make sure you like try and check out your school. Like, you know, familiarize yourself with like where the lockers are, where the office is, the cafeteria, or where certain classrooms are, because when on like your first day, you will definitely feel a lot more comfortable. I know when I started high school, I wish I got to check out my whole school, because one of the things that I was the most nervous about when starting high school was that I was nervous I wasn't gonna know like where everything was. So I think being able to check out my school before I started, I would probably felt a lot more comfortable. Get involved in the school. If you have the opportunity to get involved in like co-curricular, like extracurricular activities or clubs and stuff like that, do it, because you'll be able to branch out and meet new people. Have a positive attitude. If you're negative about everything, you're not really going to get very far. And just remember, there are other people who are going through the exact same thing as you. So it's okay to be nervous. Just be you. I don't really want to sound cheesy when I say this, but it's true. Like, just be you. Don't try to change yourself so other people will accept you. You're just not going to really have a fun time at school if you're trying to be someone that you're not. So just be you. People probably like you a lot more if you're just yourself. Look for familiar faces. If you're moving to a new school and you know people there, definitely try to hang out with them at least for like the first few weeks, because you're just gonna feel a lot, the transition is just gonna be a lot easier if you're hanging out with people that you know. I know me personally, I knew 2 people when I was moving to high school, and that just made it a lot easier. But make sure you're still branching out and making new friends at the same time as well. And lastly, make others feel welcome. If you know someone has moved to your school, try to, if you can tell that they're struggling, or they have no one to sit with, invite them to sit with your group. You might even end up being their best friend. So just be nice to others. Just think about how they might be feeling. Good study habits. It's really important that you're establishing good study habits from day one. Doing so will help prepare you for future years where work will probably get a lot harder, and will also get you into a routine. So this might include setting up a good environment, so making sure you're not surrounded by distractions, like working in a quiet place and making sure you also have all your school supplies with you. Schedule your homework. So if you know that you have a lot of homework to do, try to spread it out over a few days. Don't try to get it done just all in that one day. You won't be as productive, and it's just way too overwhelming. Try to work out when tasks are due and then schedule that accordingly. Do your homework. I know homework is really annoying. I don't really like to do it either, but it is there to help you. It's going to help you revise topics that you've learned in class, and even things that you might be struggling with. So make sure you are actually doing your homework. And if you don't get any homework one night, then maybe if you know that there's a topic that you're learning in class, one of your classes that you're struggling with, then try to revise that and get better at it. Don't leave things until the last minute. This is really important. I know when I was in primary school, every time I get homework, I would leave it until literally the night before, and it wouldn't be my best work because I was trying to rush it and get it done. But as soon as I was going to high school, I knew straight away I'd have to change that, and I started doing my homework at least the night I got it, or I said, I was managing my homework to making sure I wasn't just leaving it until the last minute. It's just going to be a lot less stressful. So make sure you're also having a break in between, when you're doing your homework. If you have a lot of homework one night, then it's really important that you're taking some time just for your brain to just relax, whether it's like doing a bit of exercise or going in your backyard and getting some fresh air. It's just really important that you're taking a break. You'll be surprised at how much more like productive your brain will be if you have just a little bit of time to yourself. Use a planner. I know me personally, I really like to do to-do lists. I find them really overwhelming. Look at this like really big list of all the things I have to do. I just personally, I think using a planner is just a lot better. Again, like when you, like I said, with scheduling your homework, you're just like kind of like putting it over like a few days, and it just looks a lot more manageable if you use a planner. So revise your work. Once you finish doing your homework, don't just call it a day. Actually like look over your work and check for like mistakes, like edit it, and like, you know, this will help you like take everything you've just done in, like you'll kind of understand it more, and you'll actually be surprised, like you might have made a lot of like really simple mistakes in your work. So it's just really important that you're not just doing your homework and leaving it to the side. You need to actually like look over it and make sure you're actually taking everything that you just did in. Avoid distractions, so especially phones and technology. When you're doing your homework, try to like put your phone at least like in a different room. Don't go on it unless you need it for like a class. Then don't go on your phone. I like to put my phone downstairs while I'm doing my homework, because I know like I always get so tempted to look on it while I'm doing it, and it just slows my homework. Like it just makes slows me down a lot more. So just make sure it's not with you while you're doing your homework. And lastly, make studying enjoyable. I know studying, it can be really annoying, but if you have a task and it's not really very brain intensive, then try to like maybe like put on some music. It will just make it a little bit more enjoyable, and it's kind of relaxing. Music, I find that actually helps me focus a lot more as well. And lastly, online schooling. Given the current situation, I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be starting online schooling, and it might be really stressful to some of you. I've been doing it for a while now, so I've learned to adjust to it, and hopefully you guys won't take too long to adjust to it either. So here are a few tips that will hopefully help make that transition a lot easier. So firstly, make sure you find a good dedicated environment to work in. So a place where there's minimal distractions, not a lot of noise, where you can just do all your online schooling. That might be a desk in your bedroom or even like the dining room table. Just find a place to work. Now this next one might be a bit of a given, but make sure you have good internet access. If you know that you're probably going to have issues with your internet during classes, make sure you're communicating that with your teacher so they know why you randomly cut out during a class, and hopefully they can also help you with that. Make sure that you avoid social media. I don't want to, I'm not saying completely avoid social media. I'm just saying during class, don't scroll through Instagram or answer a Snapchat during classes. Make sure you're focusing on your schooling and you're not going on your phone during class. It's going to be very distracting, and you're probably not going to be listening or taking in any of the information that your teacher's saying. Take notes. I know it can be really boring to just sit through hours of like your teacher talking during classes and stuff like that, and it's like really draining and tiring, and you're probably not really even taking in that information that they're saying either. So I find it really helpful when I take notes during classes, even if I don't need to, because that way I can look over it as well. I know so many times during classes where they've been talking and I thought, oh, I'm just gonna remember that. And then the class ends and I'm like, wait a minute, what was all that? So I think it's just really helpful if you take notes. Take breaks. So kind of like what I said before, but make sure you're taking breaks in between classes, sitting through an hour of school and like not getting up to take like at least a little bit of a walk. It's just not good for your brain. You kind of need to just like relax a little bit. So when a class ends, you can maybe just go for like a little walk around your house, or even just go in your backyard and get a little bit of fresh air. But I think it's really important that you're taking breaks. Have a water bottle with you. This is really important, especially during this time that you're staying hydrated, that you have a water bottle next to you. It's also really good to help keep you focused, and it's also really healthy water. So next, have a group chat with some friends. And I was just saying before, like avoid social media, but this is like a good thing. Make sure that you're creating a group chat with like a few people in your class, or like some friends in your class, and you can use it as almost like a little bit like a study group, I guess. You can like ask each other questions if you don't understand something that you're learning. It's just really good, and you're also communicating with your friends, since we can't really at the moment. And lastly, second lastly, check your emails. I'm sure most of you, especially like myself, are communicating like with your teachers through emails. So make sure you're regularly checking your emails, because they might be sending you something during the day and you don't want to accidentally miss it. So make sure you're regularly checking your emails. And now lastly, exercise. Again, a given, but make sure you're exercising. like every single day at least for half an hour. It doesn't have to be really like, vigorous exercise, but make sure that you're doing exercise, I guess. It's just gonna keep you a lot more alert. And if you do it like before you start doing your homework, you might feel a lot more energized as well. Well, hopefully you can get something out of these tips. I know it can be a very stressful time, but trust me, it will not take too long to adjust. Just make sure you're keeping positive and you will enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my Instagram at Grace's World Official, and I'll see you guys next time on Grace's Room. Bye for now.